Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Happy Sunday, you all. Whatever day it is that you are viewing this, good day, happy day to you. So if you all don't know, those who are new, my name is Trinice L. Jackson. Since you decided to stop on by, why don't you give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit the post notification bell so that you will know when I upload new content. So guys, I'm back with yet another message from God himself. You may want to say the universe, I say God. No judgment from me at all. Say what feels comfortable with you. So today I'm not going to say change directions because you don't know what direction I'm going into, but I wanted, before I get to the core of my message, I want to explain some things to you all. Not that I have to make myself understood. Well, I shouldn't say that I don't have to make myself understood. I should make myself clear if I'm bringing forth the word or what it is, whatever message it is that God is giving me for you all. But some things had came up last week, and I had a couple people ask me, why was I posting? Not why was I posting, but they were surprised at some of the stuff that I was revealing openly out loud on social media. And I told a couple people that because whatever I have gone through, I'm hoping and praying that I can help another person get through their storm. So if my telling what people say my personal business is being revealed to others, I'm going to explain to you why. I'm going to start back from the beginning parts of my walk with God, which happened, I would say, I want to give it a time span from 1998 to definitely 99, because I remember when the whole Y2K thing came out. I remember being in church. Anyhow, so I wanted to first of all say who I am. Well, I wore many hats in church when I used to attend church. I started going to church, like I said, around 98, 99. Possibly, no, definitely wasn't in 97. It was definitely in 98 or 99. And I started out just being a regular little church member, going on Sundays, some Sunday evening services. Wasn't totally dedicated to going to church, but then there came a point when I totally immersed myself in the Word of God in church, and I was very active in my church. I wore many, many, many hats in church, and I've told some of my Instagram followers the hats that I wore in church. So one of them was, I was a Sunday school teacher, I was a Bible study teacher, I was a children's church teacher, I was part of the finance department, I was an usher, I was on the board of trustees, probably some other things that I'm forgetting, but the main one the hat that I wore was that of an evangelist. Yes, 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 I was an evangelist. Let me just start off by saying this. I did not want that title. I totally ran from it. I accepted it. I did well in it, but I just didn't want that title, because the Bible tells you, so who much is given, much is required, and that is so true. And that is kind of leading into my message for today. I want to explain to you all why I left the church. I remember having a conversation with my mom, who's very heavily into Christ, and she's extremely devout. And I remember one day just having a regular conversation with her, and she said to me, well, I don't know why you left the church. Why are you angry with God? Or you must be angry with God about something. It had nothing, absolutely nothing to do with me being angry with God. I simply left the church because I fell back into sin. Now, here's the thing. Nobody's without sin. So when you may ask, well, what do you mean you fell back into sin? Because none of us are free of sin. However, I went back into the world, doing the things that the world was doing, trying to just enjoy my life and just having fun. I was no longer in my marriage. I was out drinking, having a good old time. But I did not leave. I left the church, but I did not leave God. However, I will say there was a time when I kind of did turn my back on God. I just got to be very transparent with you all. I did. I turned my back. I just wanted to live my life. I just wanted to do what Trinice wanted to do. Listen, hey, I got one life to live. I'm going to live it to my fullest. I don't care who don't like it, what have you. Whatever my excuses were, I left the church simply because of backsliding into sin. And so I want to be clear that I did not leave the church because of church hurt. You often hear people who was in a church and left the church. It's because they left because the church hurt. Somebody did something in the church to them that made them really angry or hurt them really bad, and they decided to leave. No, it had nothing to do with that. I had a wonderful pastor. He's still my pastor. I had a wonderful first lady. She's still my first lady. I had a wonderful church family. They're still my church family. I just left the building, but I did not leave Christ. So here's the thing about titles and tradition that I had to move away from. My mom, if she sees this video, I don't even know if she knows I'm on YouTube making these videos, but she'll probably, I wouldn't say grimace or anything like that, but she might have some questions for me. I had to move away from tradition and titles, because with traditions and titles, people will create a box for you to live within and work from out of. That is just not my journey. That is not my calling. It stifles you. It makes you stagnant in your growth, because people are expecting you to live your life a certain way because of your title and because of tradition. We are very traditional people. We really are. A lot of the things that we do in our family, it came as a result of tradition. You just cannot break the tradition. You just have to go along with the flow of the program. I am just not that person. I have always been my own person, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with having titles. You have to have titles. People have titles. Somebody's a mom, somebody's a dad, people are husbands, people are wives. You have titles. You have teachers, you have police officers, you have judges. People have titles, but when it comes to the spiritual realm, it's just so much you can do outside of tradition. So I had to learn, well, like I said, sin is what caused me to leave the church. And as I'm going on this spiritual journey, it's very different. I've always said this to my Instagram followers, and I think I've even said it on Facebook one time, that my journey is just different. It's very different. People may not understand, and it is not for everyone to understand. Everyone is not going to understand your calling. Everyone is not going to understand your journey. A lot of people will question the why, like why, and people will frown, and it's okay. You can frown if you don't understand. And I'm trying to get out of the term ignorance. I don't like to use that term, although it just means lack of knowledge. I want to say people lack understanding. I'm not going to call anyone ignorant. I don't want anybody to be offended by this message. However, when people don't understand your journey, they don't understand your gift, your calling, your purpose, why I'm saying the things I'm saying, why am I telling my personal business, they will question it. But here's the thing, my call, whatever I do, I'm doing it to help the next person's, my trials, my tribulations, whatever it is. If it can help a person go through more easily, because again, y'all gonna get tired of me saying this, but you're gonna face some things, because while we're in the flesh. But if I can help the next person, even if it's one person, get through that trial, that struggle a little bit easier than I did, then I am gonna tell my business. Okay, so I had to I kind of wanted to also talk about why I'm telling my story. I said because I want to help others, but also can't nobody else tell my story like I can tell my story. All right, I can't tell your story the way you can tell your story, nor would I want to, because people will leave out some very important facts. I don't want nobody to try to tell my story, because you can't tell it. All right, I need to be able to cross my T's and dot my I's. I cannot cross your T's nor dot your I's. You have to do that. Even if you went through the journey, the struggle with me, you still cannot tell my story. So here comes the part when I have to, as a person that's on this spiritual journey, I have to silence out the noise. I had given an analogy on Instagram, which I like to do. The Bible even speaks in parables and metaphorically. I gave the example of a person living in a home with soundproof walls or what have you. There are a lot of different canceling out noises devices that you can use in materials. Like I said, I don't have the luxury of putting up a wall that will keep the outside noises out. So I was talking about at that point the physical part of it, but now I'm dealing with the spiritual aspect of it. I was saying I'm a court reporter, so 99% of the time, my job, 99% of it is hearing. If I don't hear, it cannot go down on a record. If it does not go down on a record, it never happened. That's the basic thing about that. So I was saying how I wish I had the ability to put up, or the luxury to put up, soundproofing walls, curtains, whatever. I can buy curtains for that, but you get what I'm saying. Sometimes when the sweeper comes by, the landscaper, somebody blowing a horn, especially during the springtime, I'm noticing everybody's happy about the change of weather. They, for some reason, want to gather and by my window and have these loud, laughing conversations, and it impedes with my hearing. It interferes. So a lot of times I have to stop the record and say, listen, give me a second so that I can allow the noise to die down. So it's the same thing in your spiritual walk, in your journey. Sometimes you have to cancel out the outside noises so that you can continue on in the journey that God has planned for you. I have to block out the naysayers. I have to block out the negative people. I also said on Instagram, on one of my posts, that people can have 20/20 vision. Okay, they can have perfect vision, but when it comes to your dreams, your aspiration, your goals, your vision, they all of a sudden develop blurred vision, clouded vision. They cannot see that far ahead. So you have three types of people in this life. There are many types of people, but I'm going to deal with the three types that I want to deal with. I want to deal with the person who is that encourager, somebody that's going to stand by your side no matter what. How many times you fall, they're there to help pick you up. No matter how discouraged you get, they're going to find the words to encourage you. Then you have that second person who is just brazen and bold and will just shoot everything down. Every idea you have, they think it's stupid. You don't have the know-how. You don't have the money. You don't have the gift. You don't know what you're talking about. You're wasting my time. You're wasting your time. I don't want to hear about it. You have those type of people in your inner circle, right? Because most of the people that we tell our dreams to is usually people who we are close with, who we feel comfortable with. And then you have that third person who won't say a thing. So silence is golden, guys. I remember my aunt who's passed away, she used to always say, not to me, but just in general, she would always say, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. So then that's that third person who just won't encourage you, they won't discourage you, they just won't say anything. This is when you have to learn to cancel out the noises, because if you're not confident enough, if you're not strong enough, those people can come in and shut down every dream you have, every dream, every desire, every goal, every purpose that you wanted to happen for your life, in your life. If that person's voice is stronger than yours, they have the ability to shut it down. I'm not saying completely, because your goals are your goals, your purpose is your purpose. No matter how much you try to deviate from your purpose, you'll still come back to that path, because that is the way God is. That is the way. Like, I ran from evangelism. Although this is a different type of evangelism, I am not stuck within a box. And I hope people understand this. I cannot work within a box. I can't live within a box, because there are so many things that I want to do that the traditional Christian life would not allow. Here it is. If I can, and I said this before, if I can only reach one person, touch one person, that is fine. My job is done, because that one person may have the ability to reach the masses, and that is the goal. That is the point, to try to get God's word out there as much as I can, so people can start to walk in their purpose, so they can reach their destiny, understanding what the destiny is. At the end of your journey, that's your destiny. Once you leave this body, once you're no longer here on this earth, you have reached your destiny. You know, your soul lives on, but what you can do for mankind has reached its end. And you want to be sure that there are going to be people that come in and understand what the enemy does. You know, the enemy can send people to really speak negative things into your life, into your psyche, that you will begin to question your own ability. You begin to, even myself, I'm not even talking about these videos. These videos make me super happy. I enjoy feeding people what God has given me. So even if I get a few views, it's okay. It's okay. Like I said, if I reach one person, I have done my job, but that one person might be able to reach the masses. It's like a domino effect. I touch one person, another person might touch 10 other. That one person out of that 10 group might touch a mass of people. And that is the goal here, is to help others be great in life. That is my purpose. I just want people to understand that sometimes you have to, even with people that's in your inner circle who just might shy away from you because they don't kind of like the message that I'm bringing forth, they might be feeling a little bit uncomfortable. That's okay. You can still love them. Some people you gotta love from a distance, as long as they don't interfere with the journey that you are on. You have to cancel out some folk. Okay, period. I don't care what the love is between you all. If it's going to stop what God is starting, you have to cancel them out. You have to put them to the side. Maybe this particular project that I'm doing, it's not meant for you. Maybe possibly another project I do is meant for you. I don't know. But the purpose of me telling you this is that you do have to really honestly cancel out the noises from other people. Some people don't want to see you. And I said this in my video from last week. Some people don't want to see you. Well, I didn't say it in that exact way, but some people don't want to see you bypass them. They don't mind you doing okay. You can do okay as long as you don't do better than me. As long as you don't get a better house than me. As long as you don't get a better car. It's okay. You can be mediocre. Just stay over on that side. That's not the way it's supposed to be. We are supposed to be happy that our friends are doing well in life. We are supposed to rejoice with them. When they are in sorrow, we are supposed to be sorrowful with them. We're supposed to help try to bring them out. We are supposed to rejoice when they are rejoicing, and we have to learn to do that. All right, I'm already 15 minutes in. I'm trying to make this a little bit more brief so that people can stay interested in what I'm bringing forth. But that's basically my message for today. I want to go longer, but I think I'm going to save the other part of my message for next week. So just know that if you are on this journey and you have people, you have naysayers, you have people who are not encouraging you, you have people who are discouraging you, learn to cancel out those noises. Sometimes you have to latch onto people who have the same way of thinking, the same like mind. You really have to do. It's the same thing with people who are evenly yoked in marriage. That's my goal now. Like, that's my goal. The next man that comes into my life, we have to be on the same page. Okay, yes, people are not gonna be completely the same. I understand the whole thing about opposites attract. You can't be that opposite, because then there's gonna be some opposing forces. You're gonna bump heads. But we have to be equally yoked. And it's the same thing even in our friendships. Remember, there was a saying, birds of a feather flock together, meaning like if you hanging out with this person, more than likely you doing the same thing the person is doing, so you probably getting along. But however, when it comes to your spiritual walk, you have to make sure you're latching on to the right people and understanding when it's time to let those people go who are not doing the same things you're doing now. It's okay. Everybody's not going to be on the same levels. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, everybody is different. Everybody has their own journey, their own story to tell. But don't let anybody else tell your story. That's why I'm telling my story. So those of you who want to know or don't understand why am I getting so personal about my personal business, this is why. Because if I can help another person get through a dark day or a darker night or an obstacle or a hurdle, that is the goal. That is my purpose. I cannot let another person come in and speak things into my psyche to make me feel that I'm telling too much. If God gives it to me, I'm going to give it to you. And that is my message for today. Blocking out the outside noises, canceling out the outside noises so that you can stay on the path that God has laid for you. Sometimes we do deviate. We really do. Sometimes we can get distracted, and it's okay. Sometimes to get distracted, sometimes distractions come in for a reason, but you have to stay the course, guys. You have to stay the course. If you want to make it, to your destiny, you know what I'm saying? You have to stay the course. You have to dig deep within and find out what it is that God, you want me to do, or the universe. That's another thing I want to talk about. I'm going to always reference God when it comes to my gifts, my purpose. It's going to be all about God. But if you do not believe in God, if you believe it's just the universe, just know that God is in charge of the universe. But you can say the universe if you want. There's no judgment on my part. Do you have to live your life, and I can't tell you who to call what. So that's all I'm going to say today. I am going to leave it right here. I'm already 19 minutes in. So have a blessed week, guys. Remember, I said if you see my face, you can hear my voice. God gave you another day to get it right with Him. Get it right with yourself. Get it right with your parents, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your neighbor, whomever it is that you are out of alignment with, and you feel that there's a discussion that needs to be had. Have that discussion so that you guys can move on and live with no regrets at all. Until then, until next week, I'll see you.